Welcome, gentle viewers. Today we will continue immersing ourselves in the world of Eora, playing Avowed. We are exploring the living lands and trying to solve a plague outbreak and cure it. Now, you'd think we'd go on lots of adventures right off the bat, but no, we're going to do some reading. We're going to do lots of reading because there's lots of books here in this embassy. So if you don't enjoy the reading part, the lore dumps and all that, just jump to the next chapter in the video. Steel Garrote Report. We found this book on a public bench. After careful study, our scribe confirmed the handwriting matches the signature found on scrolls of Tane's chaotic orb. Be advised that Tane is in the Living Lands. As a member of the Circle of Archmagi, he has a license to go where he pleases. We will observe him at a distance, but no one is to engage him. Tane is either a harmless fool or one of the most dangerous people alive. We simply can't take that chance. Ooh, I can't wait to meet Tane then. And here's Tane's diary. Dear diary, here I am in the Living Lands. So jovial. This island might not be the safest vacation spot, but it's certainly the most colorful. Also the most flavorful, according to these mushrooms, and mushrooms seldom lie. Before I forget, I promised Bakarna I'd bring back a souvenir. There's a rumor of a fallen star in Emerald Stair. Could be a nice addition to her collection. A message is scribbled on the inside cover. If found, please return to Tane the Archmage, author of Tane's Chaotic Orb. Okay, so we want to find a fallen star in the Emerald Stair. And we want to find Tane. I think in the last episode we read Empire Origin Part 1. Or did we? No, we didn't. Okay, I'll just read that now. Here's my journal. Documents. Lore. In approximately 2,200 AI, a group of tribes called the People of the Deer unified into a new civilization called the Aediran Kingdom. The tribes, small and widespread over the land, knew it would be better for their continued existence to unify. The leaders of each tribe became advisors to the king, chosen by the group. Each advisor would be lord over his people, but each lord would answer to the Firkoning. Hey, here's the pronunciation. Firkoning. Firkoning. Which means first king. Maybe I'll just say first king instead. This decision was exactly what was needed, and the Aediran Kingdom thrived, spreading across the land and establishing strong trade routes. The Aedirans became known as fair but shrewd businessmen. While the country thrived, and internally there was little strife, there was still the occasional skirmishes with the neighboring elven kingdom of Culkin. Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin. We learned in the last episode there's a lot of big words in this game. Not long after the kingdom was formed, the Aediran people began studying animancy, still largely unknown at the time. Animancy was an exciting, terrifying new realm in which Aediran scholars saw great potential. This potential came to fruit in 2260 AI, when a group of animancers working together transferred the soul of a recently departed man into another body, creating the first of what would later become to be known as the undead. Huh, interesting concept of the undead. Transferring the soul from one person into another person. It's a different take. The reaction to this discovery was swift and decisive. Both the King of Aedir and the Church of Boudica condemned this event, and the study or practice of animancy was outlawed. It would never again be practiced openly on Aediran soil, but we know it's here in the Living Lands, happening quite a bit. Conflicts with Culkin continued, escalating in a minor war in 2398 AI. This is almost 200 years later. Afterward, a treaty was signed after the start of Aedir Empire. A treaty was signed and the Kingdom of Aedir merged with Culkin to form the Aedir Empire. With the political and military strife now settled, the Aedir Empire would become an economic powerhouse, able to acquire and generate resources that were difficult to obtain in other parts of the world. The Empire's trade routes became some of the most lucrative in the world. Cheers. A little different than it has been. There we go. Alright, now part 2. Oh boy, that's a lot of text. In 2602, that's 200 years later after the Enderan Empire was formed, Enderan explorers returned from over the ocean, telling tales of the ruins and treasures there, and of expansive fields that were perfect for growing borlas. The explorers warned the first king that the locals were not friendly to outsiders, but the first king, seeing this as an opportunity to extend his empire and secure trade on another continent, sent more explorers. Over the next 20 years, the area that would become the Durwood was investigated, mapped, and colonized. 20 years later, the first permanent Enderan colonial settlements were established. I don't know what Vorlas is. Vorlas fields were set up north of the forest in the Durwood, but between the conflicts with the Glanfalans and the War of the Broken Stone, it floundered. It wasn't until 2643 that the opportunity presented itself again. Some Eothasian pilgrims, wanting to escape persecution, established colonies and Vorlas farming operations in the territory of Reedceres. With Grand Valia on the verge of collapse, the first king wanted to ensure his hold on the purple dye trade would be established. He encouraged the settlement, and even paid to have the pilgrims set up in the New World. Because the first king was still trying to secure his name in the purple dye trade, the purple dye trade, so specific, he was unable to properly respond to Admeth Hadret when he issued his ultimatum. To avoid a rebellion and leave himself to time to oversee the Vorlas farms in Reedceres, the first king relented and made Admeth a Great Palatine. Ooh, there's a lot of words. In return for this concession, Admeth spent time and resources on the Durwood's trade and shipping routes, benefiting the first king with increased income. For 7 years, the Durwood provided Aedir with a steady income, leaving the first king time to ensure his trade system with Reedceres was strong. With the first king's attention elsewhere, Admeth instituted the 10 Years' Treaties, ending slavery in Durwood and permanently removing one of the revenue sources provided by the Durwood wooden explorers, the artifacts from the ruins scattered throughout the Durwood. At this point, the first king's word meant almost nothing to the citizens of the Durwood. Admeth Hadret had replaced him as their true leader. In order to undermine Admeth's standing, why don't we get the name of the first king? The first king found allies willing to explore the ruins against the treaty conditions and plunder them. Soon, Aedir again had a supply of artifacts to sell. When his agents were eventually caught, the first king distanced himself from the operation, certain there was no way to link him to the proceedings. But the Griff, using means provided to him by his Glanfathan allies, discovered the evidence needed to prove that Furcunning was behind the plunderers. The conflict that arose from this revelation led to Admeth declaring independence for the Durwood in 2668 AI. After a bloody 4-year-long war that resulted in the death of Admeth, the first king relented. Trying to keep the control of the Durwood had become too costly. He signed treaties with the new Duke Douche of the Durwood and returned his attention to Reedceres, redoubling efforts on the Vorlas trade, which is still running today. Boy! Okay. We already read this letter. Yep, a threat from the Claviger to Hilgard, the leader of the Steel Garrote. We haven't read this. Claviger Amond. I know that blighting of the Stranglebrood is cause for concern, but I strongly discourage any trade deal that involves buying additional crops from Fjord. Mestivorno. Fjord is where the Animancers are. We cannot endorse the blasphemous trade of animancy, much less welcome it to our dinner tables. From Hilgard. Letter to the Inquisitor. Inquisitor, I have been in Emerald's Stair long enough to confirm our worst suspicions. The people of Eora Verno care not for the laws of mortals or gods. Animancy and folk magic are peddled in defiance of Vodica. Their crimes are innumerable, their way of life intolerable. All is not lost. Politically, they are unstable, too focused on themselves to notice our eager hands tightening the garrote. We await your order, your friend in the forest. Okay. This is what I needed. Pronunciations and dialect. The sun does not set on the Adiran language. Those of us who commune with this proud language, or some derivation of it, populate every corner of Eora. Most of us who speak this wonderful tongue know it as Adiran, but scholars and those obsessed with correctness often qualify it as modern or contemporary Adiran. This is to contrast the language you and I speak today with Eld Adiran, the old Elven language that was spoken in the Adiran Empire back before the pioneer settlers of the Durwood built their longships. If Eld Adiran could be considered the mother of the living Adiran, the language of Hillspeak could be seen as Adiran's cousin. Hillspeak is fading from common use, but many of the elves, especially the older ones, in the Adiran heartland still use this dialect. Whether you know it or not, if you can read these words, you can understand Hillspeak. Oh, I can understand Hillspeak. Great. It is almost identical to Adiran, but includes a large vocabulary of archaic words that have fallen out of use in today's Adiran. When you hear bards sing old Adiran poems, there are often lines of chorus that sound like melodic nonsense inserted to complete rhymes. That sounds like just choirs in real life to me. I can never tell what they're singing. These are usually instances of words that are lost from our common language but still used in Hillspeak. While Hillspeak is familiar to speakers of so-called modern Adiran, the same cannot be said of our language's predecessor. Eld Adiran is a dead language, spoken by academics, but not used in any major community. Eld Adiran words are often familiar to Adiran readers, but the words use orthography that has since been abandoned. Unfamiliar accents marks abound. For example, Eld Adiran contains some diphthongs that have no place in the modern Adiran, as well as a few tricky consonant clusters. I don't know what diphthongs. If anybody knows what this word means, let me know. EA creates an Aya. Oh, Eora. Oh wait, no, that's EO. AO. Yeah, sound that sounds like the colloquial salutation Heya. Aya. Okay, EA is Aya. EO sounds like Aya. Ao. This sound is still used in the modern word Eora. AY is pronounced as AE, such as in wraith. Oh, just AE. U, E, and U umlaut, or whatever this is, both create a long oo sounds, like as in loop, okay? Y sounds like E, as in B. GJ sounds like the consonant Y, as in U. SC sounds like SH, so you'd pronounce scop like shop. Ah, we've seen scop before. Okay, shop. I'll try to remember that. Shop. So SC is like SH. That's exactly what it says here. CJ sounds like J at the end of the word, like hedge. J. Okay, J. It's not uncommon for given names of Adirans, Durwoodans or Reed Sirens, to come from Eld Adiran. Some examples. Aldwin is pronounced Aldween. Aldween. Oh yeah, Aldween. Okay, so not Aldwin, Aldween. Because of the long vowel sound on the Y. Durnish, I'm gonna guess it's Durnish, is pronounced Durnish. Yeah, since the final SC cluster sounds like an SH sound. Okay, G-J sounds like a consonant Y and U, so it's yester. 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 It's pronounced yester, TR, on account of the J, yep. What was CG again? CG was the hedge. So, sledge is pronounced like sledge. I swear I'm not looking at the right side of these. Thirsh is pronounced... oh no, it's Y, so thirsh. Thirsh. Yep. Ushgrim. Ushgrim. Oh, there was a U. There's something about U, right? Ooh. Ushgrim. Yeah, Ushgrim, and not Ushgrim. Ingmar. It's pronounced Ingmar, leading with a vowel sound. Yay! We're learning. I'm not going to retain any of this when we look at another piece of text. Although I will probably remember Edwin instead of Edwin. 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 Wow, you're pretty. Yeah, sorry. Alright, I think we read everything here. Whew! That was a lot of lore. So, our next main quest is to go find the Watcher, who's going to give us some therapy for having died. But we do have a lot of side quests. Lots of bounties as well. Are any of these bounties close by? Wait, there's a quest available.
None of the clerks believe my story.
Who? Oh, hey.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I was going to say it was Tej.
In here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
I
Did you know each other?
say that. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Rautalians are hardly uncommon in Paradise, so I'm given to understand.
It's nothing like that. You run into all sorts of characters around here, is all. Some more polite than others.
I think there's more to the story here.
Well, Kai? Come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballot Rock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
No, no.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
Did you really try to kill someone, Tej?
The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy?
I was hoping you'd might answer a few questions for me.
Naturally, Mom. How can I help you?
Wow. Tell me more about Ludwin.
Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwin is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deathfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
What's a Death
I don't know
Guard?
what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodaka wasn't done with her yet.
Who was Vodaka again? The Burned Queen. Oathbinder and the Queen that was. It's a goddess of justice. Oh, that's right, yeah. The Steel Garrotes worship her. We had a Death Guard standing watch over the archives in Bragenhill.
Cryptic Neil! I remember him fondly.
I want to meet him. How did you manage to remember him?
I took every upper-level course the university offered on memory and recall to circumvent the Walian glamour on him. And even then, it only barely worked. I had to look at him out of the corner of my eye and half cross them while thinking of something dreadfully boring like, grimoire repair. On the upside, it's made me an exceptional clerk. But that's neither here nor there. We were discussing death guards.
Right, tell me about death cards. So he has like a memory forgetting spell?
Death guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deadfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I have heard of none others except those I've read about in the histories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a death guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle.
Interesting. What was she like before she became a death guard? Maybe she was also brutal then.
I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same.
Tell us about the
Think upon
garrote.
your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you.
It's
They're an
brutal.
order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodaka. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodaka's priests, or Wodaka herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say.
You're the ambassador's secretary. What's he like? Because I found the ambassador pretty rude when we first met him.
Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the claviger far more than he lets on. And without the claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it.
Fair.
Better him than me.
What's he like when he's not working?
He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does.
I was told to meet with a watcher, but I don't know anything about them. What can you tell me?
I trust whomever told you to consult a watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city.
Yes,
She is a liar and a thief.
we did know that.
Oh, did she take your money?
No. Anyway, watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn.
What happens to them in Adir?
The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wurka's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves.
Okay,
Should you ever need me, I will be. Safe travels, envoy.
we've been hanging out here way too long. I'm getting antsy. It's been 30 minutes and I haven't left this house. Ooh, okay. Let's see. There's still a quest available there. Let's see, this quest, speak to the locals. Searching for a potion to fortify travelers against the plague afflicting the living lands. This seems pretty important.
An interesting day so far. Well, I'll be chomped by a Zarep queen. You're that godlike from the docks.
The very same. You have the same glasses as Tej.
I can't believe my luck. Nothing all year, and then boom, interesting strangers just falling out of the sky.
You're welcome. Have you seen a crew of dwarven smugglers by
As a matter
chance?
of fact, I have. Indeed, a young dwarf and his crew stopped by. Seemed agitated, like they were afraid of someone.
Seems odd that they would come to a scholar for help.
They were asking all sorts of people. Seems like I was the only one willing to really speak to them. They were asking where they could find luminous Ardra, of all things. Can't imagine what they'd needed it for. I said they were most likely out of luck, but I might know somewhere they might find some if they looked hard enough.
Okay, so we've heard Deadfire mentioned very often. Isn't the name of Path of Exile 2 Path of Exile Deadfire? I wish I'd played those games. I mean, I played the first one for a handful of hours, but I don't retain anything from it. It's very rare outside Deadfire. I've only seen it once or twice.
Well, you've done your reading. You're exactly right. Not long ago, a group of animancers looked to carry out some experiments into teleportation. They carried their instruments and a healthy supply of luminous Ardra to the island of Castel's Folly. It's possible there's some still there.
Then we need to go to Castle's Folly?
Castel's Folly is the small island
saw
not
it.
far from here to the east. It's a difficult place to traverse, but those folks might be desperate enough to try. Question, why are you looking for those sailors? Did the Valian captain send you?
What Valian captain are you talking about?
I don't know much, but one of the smugglers whispered the name Captain Bardato and spit on the ground.
Ooh.
The name sounded Valian to me. I could be wrong, but I doubt it.
Have you seen this captain in Paradise?
Oh no. I imagine a Valian sea captain knows better than to spend time among all these Adiran soldiers. The folks you're looking for are probably getting themselves killed searching for Ardra that probably isn't there. I can tell you wouldn't listen to me if I warned you not to go to Castel's Folly, so I wish you luck.
Thank you. Okay, guess you don't want to talk anymore. So, this was the island over here, right? Oh, this one. Okay, there's two. Don't know if I want to do this yet. This is our main quest.
This
Yeah,
is
let's
where
keep...
you fell. Don't count on anyone cleaning up the bloodstain anytime soon.
Oh. Can we figure out from where that was fired? Is it up there? Let's go up there. So in the last episode, as soon as we entered the city, we got shot by an arrow, and we died, and then a mysterious god
Going hungry or sober.
resurrected us, but we never knew who was assassinating us. So let's see if we can find out where the arrow came from. Ooh, Blackwing gloves. Crit chance and critical damage. What kind of gloves do we have now? Crit chance. Awesome. Ooh, they look cool. Let's read about them. The dyed leather of these gloves is supple and intricately tooled. The palm of the gloves is thin enough that the wearer can barely tell that anything lies between their hands and whatever they may hold, granting increased control and precision. Based on where you found these gloves, it's fair to assume they were once used to fire the arrow that slew you. Oh. Huh. Okay. I called it. I called it. Is there no notes here?
Looks like poison. We should.
Oh my god.
He could tell us more.
Okay, that is sick game design. So, we didn't have any kind of objective here. Like quest objective. We were supposed to go to Marius anyways. That was our next main story quest objective. But because we went over here, we got a dialogue from Kai mentioning this is where we were shot. And then just me thinking this would be a good place to shoot the arrow from and explore here gave us both an update to our main quest and dialogue and confirming that this is the place. And there's like no indication, nothing driving me here except for my own curiosity. This is really good game design, gotta say. Very impressive. Now, can we get down quickly? Let's not jump down. Okay, I think this is a dead end. We got the gloves, that's awesome.
Unseen, unheard.
I really need to set up camp and talk to Kai so we can get rid of this notification in the UI. I want a clean UI.
Godlike. Interested in saving?
Interested in saving a couple lives? Always.
You're that godlike, the Adiran envoy.
Remake Guardiola.
You're the one who saves the ambassador from the strangle root,
Remy?
right?
EI? What was EI again? Remy? That was me, yeah.
Interesting. Say, would you be up for helping out some down on their luck Adirans who can't catch a break?
I can try. Oh, so you're a Vaglian.
Galarde. Lawfled and Gladwine came here about 8 years ago, long before the recent rush of Adirans. They admitted to having a checkered past back home, but they started a new life in Paradis. Back then, you'd struggle to find an Adiran in the city. Now they're everywhere. Anyway, with all these Adirans coming in, Lawfled and Gladwine started spotting old faces. And if they were spotting old faces, it was only a matter of time before those faces started spotting them back. They're lying low in the shantytown for now, but they mean to leave for Thirdborn.
Adherents in the shantytown. I doubt they're getting a warm welcome. Most of the people there are Paradisans run out by Adir.
They're afraid to go out in public, and Gladwine, poor soul, he's gone blind from bad drink.
Ooh. They make herbal remedies for such things.
Exactly. And the required herbs grow in the wilds around Paradis. It's a little too dangerous for us ordinary folks, but for the Adiran envoy, for the hero who braved the strangle root, I'm sure it will be no problem.
Ending with flattery is a nice touch.
Agresima.
Alright, let's see what I can do.
Many thanks, envoy. Oh, there is one more thing they need. Land deeds. They've already paid for them. There's a Rawatayan in the Pearl District, Mako, who was handling the paperwork.
Why hasn't he?
I don't know. That's the problem. Mako and I had a falling out a while back. It's best if someone else goes.
Alright, I can talk
Thank
to
you,
Mako.
envoy. God bless you.
I'm a nice person. What's here? Oh, that's right. Our herbal healer. Oh, and the last...
Spare a coin.
I mean, I can take your coin, but I don't know if I can give you a coin. I'm sorry. When I talked to Liviana last time, I wasn't sure what she was selling. This is the clinic. Okay, yeah. Yeah, she's not selling anything that I need right now. Here's the inn, I think. Parkour. And we're supposed to talk to you.
You're the one they all crow about, eh? Best hunter and guide in all of Donshell.
Marius.
Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his cups.
Is he
ready
gonna
to
be a
take on
companion?
The deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of my cool. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know.
Interesting. Let's see how this plays
I
out.
heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be? Hiding behind stone walls all your life.
You don't know anything about me, you Adira Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Dukte Dragu Sakasapt Jitule. You wanna talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
Wow. You know Marius. Do you think we should step in?
Marius can handle himself. Of course, if you're bored. Could always start something anyway.
He's got this
I
under
think
control.
this is about to get interesting.
I knew you were blessed in Nimdut the moment I saw you coming. Thought maybe I'd teach you a lesson. So I paid the bartender a few gold to drop a tiny bit of Widow's Kiss into a cup and serve your drink in it. Cramp should be starting in a few minutes, so, if you want to fight, we should go ahead and get started.
I've only heard of Widow's Kiss used as an injected venom. Drinking it should be safe as water.
You know your stuff, but I doubt they do.
Envoy, you see? Will you stand by and allow this maniac to poison a fellow subject of the Emperor?
That's actually really funny that we were, because of the Arcane Scholar, we know that he's not actually poisoned. Of course I will. This is hilarious.
We'll see who's laughing when I'm done with you.
Come on, Meili. Let's
Oh,
show
shoot.
these people why you don't pick fights in the Ballarok.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to kill you. Oh no! Oops. Ah, I'm just killing a bunch of people. I'm sorry. Ah, I'm sorry, man.
You know you love it.
Another glorious battle.
It's really funny. I wasn't planning on murdering. Oh God. Is she alive? Hey man.
Well, that was something.
Sure was.
Haven't been to bar fight in a while. Never really saw the point.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy.
Infamous indeed.
Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a person.
I need to find some assassins, and Kai tells me you're the best one for the job.
I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left there we can use to track them.
I already know the killer is from Paradis.
And they wouldn't need much of a reason to go after an Adiran official. Plenty of stale water there. Still, it's dangerous to make assumptions based on stereotypes. We need more of a trail to go on. We'll figure this out, Amakul. Don't you worry.
Ooh, new companion! Known as the best hunter and wilderness guide in the Living Lands, Marius has lived all over the Living Lands, but there is no place he truly calls home. Marius uses ancient Paragrunan stealth and survival techniques to gain advantage over his foes, trapping them in gripping vines or disappearing from sight to ambush them with a silent attack. His senses are attuned to detect threats and objects scattered across the Living Lands. Ooh, that's nice. Finding roots and hunter's sense.
Migrants' flames. Don't go around picking any more fights, you hear? The patrons like it, but they're not the ones who have to clean up after it.
You won't have any more trouble from me, I'm sorry.
Huh. A real apology. Can't remember the last time I heard one of those. Now, what'll it be?
I feel bad. I'm just gonna buy something from you. Let's buy some lockpicks. Thank you. Okay. So, let me read about the Watcher. Runa, the local Watcher, may have insight into your near-death experience. She can be found in the hills to the northwest. In the hills to the northwest. Is this... Because this is not northwest. This is northwest. I feel like this is the fake Watcher. The shitty one. But we're close to being able to get the land deeds. Maybe we should check out that. Oh, the architecture here is weird.
No signs of a struggle. Looks like misadventure to me.
I don't know. Like that?
So we have to go up here.
I assume you intend to pursue.
That's where the ogre is.
You break it, you buy it.
Wonder who he crossed.
What?
Doesn't
Oh, the land deeds. Huh. Nice pool. This is cozy.
We need those papers for those Adiran refugees, right?
Yeah. Why is he dead? He was stabbed over here, I guess, and then he crawled. Oh, Marius has 2 skill points. Binding roots is useful. Heartseeker. Marius' attacks deal bleed accumulation. That sounds nice. And reduce enemy damage reduction. I'm gonna... Oh, or slow or attacks reduce enemy damage. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on that. Yeah, more bleed. Lots of bleed. Okay. Well, that was easy. What quest is A Lady Never Tells? Oh, that's right. Helping Juliana. That was over here somewhere.
Any idea who this vigil is for? Must be popular.
Epitaph. SC. SC. I do not know what strange illness took you from us, what drove you to harm your own kin. We curse the force that possessed you in your unwell state, for we know nothing mattered more to you than the ones you loved. And Sela, know your dying efforts were not in vain. The Messon survives you and will carry the memory of her mother and father in a long, prosperous life. May the usher hold the doors open wide for you both. Ah, that sounds like the plague. The scourge. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. Where is she? Oh, she's up there. Okay. Don't mind me.
Whatever a man wins at cards, he's bound to lose it here.
There she is. Pretty dress.
You're the talk of the town, envoy.
Am I?
Everyone wants to meet you.
I imagine they want to meet you too. Is that Juana Jasmine perfume?
God knows. Hope you don't stick it in politics. They don't like envoys around here.
I've spent most of my life making people uneasy. I'm used to it.
People are always uneasy about power. Until they have it, that is.
One of your workers said you had a problem.
And she sent you to me. Smart girl. All right, since you're all business, we can skip the small talk. The short version is, I'm out of some supplies that should have been here days ago. I'd hunt them down myself, but I don't have a firm enough hand. I need someone with more authority. Someone, well, someone like you.
You say that like it's normal for goods to go
goods
missing.
like mine it is. The local strongmen, the Sparrowhawks, got a hold of the shipment. They must have thought it looked valuable. Unfortunately, they were right.
The Sparrowhawks used to be bullies. Now that Adair swept them into this neighborhood, they're bullies with a chip on their shoulder.
And Marius.
Shipment or not, it's about time someone took them down a peg.
Barely in frame. I'm not afraid of a gang. Let me handle it.
Aren't you amenable? I knew you'd be the right one for the job. Go to the docks. Their lieutenant runs one of the warehouses there. He'll probably keep it close.
This would be a lot easier if I knew what the shipment is.
And my life would be easier if my pool cleaned itself. Hurry back.
Fine. Jeez. Keep your secrets. Okay, we really need to set up camp. Let's see. Let's fast travel to outside the gates. I want to respect everyone's time, so I'm going to try avoiding too much backtracking. Now, where can we set up camp? All the way over there. Oh, I guess we can... Yeah, okay. Finally left the town, and we're just... we've been in Paradis for 50 minutes, and we're now gonna... just hang out at camp. Can I actually attack while I'm here? Yeah. So, one thing that kind of occurred to me is that you can really just like, well, I don't know how to equip it. Let me see. Like, you could do a sword and pistol, like sort of.
Not washing your clothes in Sabbath hour.
I hate to break it to you, but regular laundry is a common courtesy when you're traveling with a group.
No, it's fine. If you feel the need to wash your clothes, go right ahead. Just use something else.
Sweat and midday breezes don't count as washing, you know.
Right, so I smell like the wilderness. You people stand out like a tree rat in heat. You've been complaining about the flies, though. They're attracted to the scent of sapflowers.
Thanks, Marius. That's helpful.
Ah,
Don't
buddies.
get used to it.
So what I'm trying to say is, like, I can equip a sword, presumably, and a pistol. Oh, okay, so right click is... There we go. Yeah. So, let's see. I can have a pistol in my main hand.
Look, Marius, if you ever want to talk about anything,
Interesting.
you know I'm here, right?
Can break this down. We don't need common shields. Don't need 3 bows. Don't need... Well, that's actually kind of sick.
Right. Appreciate that, but I'm alright.
If you ever change your mind, the offer stands.
Okay, Amaku. I'll keep that in mind.
Is there no attacks, like... to sort of combine them? I guess if I...
What are you grinning about?
Okay, so clicking both left and right,
Well, stop it.
That's just how my face looks, Marius.
like alternate...
Hey, you got something on your mind? Something you want to talk about?
Why, see? You're doing...
So what I'm thinking also is... You could have a wand in your right hand
doing it now.
Well,
and a sword in
you're
your...
being funny.
Well, left and right hand.
I'm just making it worse.
That's kind of cool. But can you also have a grimoire in... So if I'm not interested in using a wand, can I have a grimoire in my offhand? I totally can. Okay, that's cool. See, this is a mage knight.
By the
Okay, I
way,
love that.
Never met that Orlin girl before in my life.
What Orlin girl?
You remember. The one in the camp in Shadow Peaks? With the thing on her head?
Oh, yeah. Nice eyes, chip.
Oh, we can actually make some stuff. Some tea. You can make that out of a few things. Make some grog. Some porridge. Yum. We'll make lots of porridge. Maximum health. That's nice. Some stew. We're drinking and eating good tonight.
Thinking about her again, huh?
You thought we had a past or something. But I'd never seen her before in my life.
We could see her again if you want. I think she liked you.
Well, anyway, just wanted to clear that up. Yeah, a good talk.
Some women like the brooding, mysterious types. You just gotta work on your small talk.
All right, Marius, what are you about?
But you leave a pretty wide trail, Envoy.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that anyone who wanted to track you down would just have to follow the murmurs and gossip.
That's fair.
And a Deern official who's new in town turns a lot of heads. Especially when they're traveling with a Nimdude like Kai.
What's a Nimdude?
Stick with Kai. You'll find out. Well, we've worked together in the past. It was mostly him crashing blindly through the weeds after I advised him not to. I'm here to find your assassins. Maybe help you avoid being killed again in the future. My guess is you'll need a guide once you leave Paradise, too. They say I'm the best there is.
You're welcome to join us.
Their tea, Envoy. I'll make myself at home. Anyway, enough chat. I'm sure you have things to do.
What's in it for you, though?
Right. What? Let's
You have any
see.
tips?
Normally you look for some shelter first. Cut down a few small trees, gather moss to keep the wind out. Nothing too elaborate. With so little tree cover, you want to keep moving. The reeds near the coast make great fibers for rope, so you can lash branches together and make a decent roof. Of course, we're always moving, so we just make a quick camp and carry on. So you don't have to worry about all that.
Okay, we'll
Right.
talk more later.
Good talk.
Let's talk. Yeah, well, thank you for the survival tips.
Listen, this is something I never thought I'd have to ask, but can we talk about you coming back from the dead?
You were there. What did you see?
I saw you take an arrow to the gut and collapse. Your skin went cold and you stopped moving. It happened fast. By the time I got you to Liviana's, I don't think you had a pulse. You certainly weren't breathing. You must have spent 20 minutes as a corpse on one of her cots before you just came back. What did you see while you were gone? What do you remember?
My soul traveled through the beyond, a part of it anyway.
The beyond. That's the realm of the gods, of souls.
That's what happened. It was beautiful. Yeah, I agree. It was beautiful. It was not horrifying.
Well, that sounds kind of nice. What did you see there?
I encountered someone.
Wait. Someone? Who was it? Or what was it?
It's the same voice I heard in the Adra in the Strangle
Well,
Group.
that's good. Imagine how much worse this would be if you had two cryptic entities clamoring for your attention.
Ah, that's the bright side I'm looking for.
Out to you from the beyond. They saved you from death, and now they want you to free them from wherever they are. Do you trust them?
I think so. They don't seem malicious. They seem confused as I
guess
feel.
that's some comfort. Well, even in the land of the strange, you have had the strangest experience I've ever heard of, and you haven't even left on shore. That's quite a feat.
Thanks.
At least you have a sense of humor about it. So, this whole time you were in the beyond, and then you were just sent back.
Wait and listen.
I feel crazy even asking this. Do you think there's a way to bring people back from the dead?
Animancers have tried to unlock the secret of the soul for centuries. No one has found a way to do
That doesn't
that.
stop them from trying, I guess. Still, thanks for humoring me. You must be tired. I know I am. Hopefully that Watcher Runid will have some answers for us. For now, let's get some rest. Enjoy
Yeah,
the
we'll talk.
ocean breeze.
We'll talk more later. So what I wanted to do was, I'm pretty happy with a medium level, medium armor. So let's upgrade our armor a bit. Just because we have a lot of the resources needed. Oh, we don't actually. We just about. We get more damage reduction. And the weapons we have, I really don't know what weapon I want to use yet. We can upgrade the grimoire. I like the shield. Yeah, it's difficult. I don't know what weapons I want to use yet. I mean, having an arquebus in the offhand and like sniping at the start of combat sounds really fun.
You should keep
But-
an eye on that scrape on your arm. You don't want it to get infected. It barely
Okay,
even
that's
gets
actually kind of sick.
That's the worst kind of flesh wounds. Lots of open skin contact. Snap flies like the peeled skin. Fog mites love the blood.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
I have some tanglewort in my pack. That should clear it right up.
Okay. If you insist.
Marius is so
You can
helpful.
thank me later. That's what I'm here
Unsolicited
for.
help. Oh, what kind of outfits does he have? I kind of like the Eora collection. Let's do it. Alright. Exit to previous location. Oh, that's convenient. I think I'm finally ready to head out to do some quests. But that's unfortunately the end of the episode because I spent so much time reading, talking to people, doing menial tasks, and also getting into a bar fight. So hopefully this next episode will be more exciting. But I enjoyed my time. I like the lore and I like the quests so far. They're interesting. And we got a new companion, so that's cool. I really like Marius so far. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye!